Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to our Introduction to Informatica Data Governance product series. And today we would like to discuss in more detail how Informatica BPM software could help with master data management solutions implementation. Our topic today is how to integrate Informatica MDM into a complex enterprise IT landscape without disrupting the existing enterprise business process. Briefly about Infoverity. We are an Informatica elite level partner specializing in data governance strategy, master and product data management solutions implementation. We offer the full spectrum of services from strategy and business consulting to implementation and managed services. We are proud to be named Informatica's Partner of the Year 4 times in the past 5 years, and we serve our client base across multiple geographies. This video is prepared by Infoverity's EMEA team, so we'd like to thank one of our leading BPM experts, Andrei Pogrievich, as well as managing consultant in EMEA, Alexander Silaev, and my name is Natalia Rybakova. I'll guide you through our materials and the demo today. So, what is BPM? BPM allows you to build any business process as a flowchart of steps, where on each step some action or decision made by a human or a system is expected. Informatica BPM provides functionality to orchestrate actions taken across the organization, design such business process, build and visualize them, as well as automate and control execution. BPM integration could be quite helpful in various scenarios, like implementation of inter-department communication, such as customer onboarding, processing sensitive data, following compliance check procedures, interactions with finance or accounting departments, excluding particular data from circulation, as well as getting master data readiness confirmation from external IT systems, for example, billing, ERP, finance, requesting identifier for distribution to other systems. It also includes notifications such as alerts, manual action request, including emailing or calling the customer. Let's see which features make Informatica BPM so useful. First is built-in integration. To support the change approval workflow, the MDM Hub and Informatica Data Director integrate with the Activa server. Predefined MDM workflows, task types, and roles enable the components to synchronize with one another. Visual Process Builder. The business process could be so complex that it could be a challenge to even clearly document them. Ability to visualize business process configuration during the development could be crucial to keep implementation and business teams up to date and reduce risk of misunderstanding. Flexible interfaces. With the ability to extend process configuration within integration steps, BPM can fit any kind of architectural landscape and interact with all parties in an efficient manner. Monitoring tools. Taking control over the business process is impossible without ability to collect high-level KPI metrics and also dig deeper into details of the particular problems of the process execution. Let's see now what standard BPM functionality is offered by Informatica MDM. There are only 2 systems can participate in the workflow, BPM and IDD. Informatica MDM out of the box comes with a few pre-configured workflows for 1 and 2-step approval process. These are very basic workflows that could be extended as needed. Let's review the simplest one. Let's suppose that there are 2 users who take part in approving records, data steward and manager. When a record is created or updated by the data steward, changes do not take effect immediately in the master catalog. Rather, a record in a pending state is created. BPM takes it from here and creates an approval task, assign it to a user with a manager role. When the assigned user opens the task, he could review changes made, adjust them, and decide if the record can be approved. Only if approval is received, BPM requests activation from the server, and after that the changes are available in the master catalog and to all downstream systems. The manager can also reject an unsatisfactory record. In this case, a corresponding task in BPM will be created for the data steward to review. As you can see in this scenario, the workflow doesn't leave the MDM solution at any point, and all decisions are made only by humans. But in many cases, decisions cannot be made by MDM users only. Sometimes consumers of the master data do not even know what are the formal criteria for the master information to be valid for their system. It can appear from business requirements, where previous business rules were not properly documented on time. And now it is not possible to reverse engineer or apply any changes to existing workflows. The most common thing here is that a third-party system has been already configured for validating records. And it really makes sense now to add golden records only with synchronization with it. In the meantime, a customer record cannot be made available globally if, for example, it's not set up in some billing system. Here we come to our solution, where we made synchronization of records validation with external systems work as a validation approver possible, just like the manager role did it in the standard out-of-the-box workflow example, replaced by a cumbersome system like SAP. Let's see how the most common requirements fit into the idea of the integration architecture offered by Infoverity. The solution was developed relying on our broad experience with large organizations supporting several IT systems. First commonly demanded requirement is that many customers want Informatica be a single point of data entry. Then, every change in MDM repository should be weighted by SAP before affecting master repository. On an SAP side, it should not store the MDM identifier, and it should keep the ability to reject unsuitable records and request changes. For both one- and two-step approval and more complex scenarios, where multiple IT systems could be involved, Infoverity recommends using Informatica BPM to orchestrate and control the approval process. This will ensure that the data becomes available in the master catalog only if it meets actual completeness and quality requirements in the enterprise, regardless of whether the rules are enforced within MDM or in other systems or process. This is a typical challenge for large organizations supporting hundreds of legacy systems. The solution is based both on BPM, with a custom configured business process having appropriate steps to communicate with other IT systems like their decision-making humans. And the second component here is the integration layer, represented by an enterprise application which is developed using Infoverity accelerators, such as the Infoverity Integration Framework Service app. Now let's take a look on the data flows. Informatica Data Director is integrated with the Activos workflow, which sends data to Infoverity Integration Framework Service. It communicates with SAP or any other external customer system via Enterprise Integration Layer or the external system's own interface. When the Infoverity Integration Framework gets a response, it sends it back to Activos via API, and the workflow is coming back to IDD to be shown for a user. So, let's go ahead and watch the demo of the represented scenario. Let's get started with our demo scenario from creating a new customer record in Informatica Data Director. We populate his name, description in Chinese, and tax ID. After we click Apply, we get a reserved SAP identifier for our new record. But the record cannot be saved in MDM right away, because in our case, the data steward has to send it for approval to an external system outside MDM. Meanwhile, the record will be stored in pending state and not available in the master catalog yet. Now let's see what's happening behind the scene. Checking our active process, and we can see that Activos displays the instance of approval workflow we are working with. Let's check the process details. Here we can see that the workflow is waiting for a response from SAP. At the same time, by the way, Informatica Data Director stays operational and Data Steward can work with other records. Now, when negative response is received, Activos handles rejected record data and creates a task for the Data Steward. When we log in as Data Steward, we can see that the task is now appeared on his dashboard. If he looks at the task details, he can know the reason of the rejection. In our case, the language of one of the populated fields was not supported by SAP. So, as the Data Steward got to know that the record was rejected because of Chinese characters, he can fix it and submit for approval again. Let's take a look what's going on Activos side. Updating the page to be able to see changes. Now, as SAP approved the updated description and data was resubmitted by Activos, the branch that handles success response was triggered. Current state of this instance of workflow is finished now. In our example, Activos will immediately activate the record by promoting MDM XRF record. We are now able to find in ADD our newly created customer record, which is in active state and available in the master catalog. What we just demonstrated was just a small example of how Informatica BPM provides customers the capability to enable complex business process throughout the enterprise, which can greatly enhance an MDM system's effectiveness and fit in overall business process. With BPM, not only we can enhance the data governance process within MDM itself, we can also enable multi-system, multi-actor collaboration for holistic enterprise process. Now, I want to thank you for your attention today. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.